The name of the book, A Hard Water World, Ice Fishing and Why We Do It. And our point right from the start on this was, hey, this is not a how-to book by any means. You won't see any instructional aspects in it at all. What you will see is the culture of ice fishing in North America. Well, you know, it's in chapters, of course, rather than just a full layout picture book. And here, let me just tell you some of the chapters because it helps describe the book, I think, quite well. Celebration of the North. First ice, that changing the season when we first start getting ice. Cities on ice, like Mille Lacs Lake, where you've got, 10,000 ice houses on it. There's a chapter on the types of houses that exist everywhere. In New Hampshire, for example, they don't call them ice houses or ice shacks. They call them bob houses. And they call them bob houses because their lakes don't freeze as well as ours, and so almost every year the houses bob in the water. They call them bob houses, not ice houses. So little things like that, Anglers on the Ice Unite, that's Greenland and Russia. And then Theater of the Absurd, and that's these ice contests and derbies that you'll see all around the country where people gather to try to catch, either the biggest fish or the smallest fish. You know how some of these contests are. It isn't the biggest that always wins. Sometimes the smallest fish actually wins. So, but favorite image, again, too tough to describe. There's an image in the book that under first ice is a photograph of what I call a fish fossil. And there was a perch that got froze in the first ice. You'll get that winter kill. And so they're right at the surface. And a bird came down and plucked through the ice and then just plucked the fish out. It left an absolutely perfect imprint of the fish. It was like this high relief sculpture in the ice. And things like that are wonderful to stumble across, A lot of what ice fishing is, I think, like anything, like canoeing, like hunting, like painting, like turning bowls, it's what you're interested in, and it becomes a vehicle to get you to go do something. And in Minnesota, in the Northland, we have long winters. And spending time out on the ice rather than sitting around the TV, this is much better to do this. You're exercising, you're outside, you're dealing with natural elements. I mean, let's face it, ice cracking underneath your feet is a little exciting. And so I think it's kind of meant to expose that in a way that this isn't something that just someone down the street goes and does. It actually is a unified cultural event that takes place across this northern boreal forest, and also in that same boreal circle around the world. People do this where we celebrate ice. And so I think from that perspective, it's just a look at how wacky it is. I mean, you just don't see things like this in other places in the world. So we're unique that way, and I think this book kind of shows that.